going on, guys? Andrew Scott here with Elevated Web Marketing again, and I'm bringing you another video on digital marketing tips for your small business. And this week I want to talk a little bit more about branding, because when you talk about social media and Facebook and all these different outlets, it's all just branding, right? It's all interaction with your business and your brand that your potential customers are seeing, and it's that relationships you're building that is branding. It's what your business stands for. It's what you what you believe in. It's why you do what you do. And with that in mind, I want to kind of kick this off with a Simon Sinek quote. I don't know if you've heard of Simon Sinek before, but he's a very prolific speaker. He's done a lot of TED Talks that you might have seen. Talks about this concept called the Golden Circle. He has a book called Start With Why. And one of the most famous quotes from the TED Talk he's known for is, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And I want you to digest that for a little bit, just because it's just your brand, right? Your why is in line with your brand. It's what you're about, what you believe in, your values, your mission, your vision. Like, that's all at the foundation of your business and why you exist. And then the products you sell and the problems you solve on top of that, they're built on top of that. But it all starts with the why. Because if you don't have your why figured out, you don't have that clear direction. You don't have a clear path of what your business stands for, and you don't have that foundation to essentially make your decisions in business and in whatever products you're selling or services you offer. If you're not in line with that, you're going to be wavering all over the place, and people aren't going to know what you stand for. People aren't going to know what you represent. And that's not good, especially given that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Think about CocaCola, right? I don't see a lot of commercials from them anymore, but for the longest time, you would see commercials of a bear, and he might be skating on ice on the Arctic Circle somewhere or something like that, drinking a Coca-Cola with a big smile on his face. That's branding. Coca-Cola has been around for over 100 years, and they've been doing the same thing the entire time. That is branding. They're not trying to sell you Coke right on that commercial, right? They're just trying to expose you to them and what they stand for and who they are. And so it's kind of like, because they know not everybody drinks soda, right? So what they're getting at, though, is branding, and it's more than that. So if you don't drink soda, say you're throwing a party, right? You're having a party at your house. It's in the summer, you're having a cookout. There's going to be lots of food, lots of burgers and hot dogs and beer and drinks and stuff and whatever, and you got to get some soda for the kids, right? You're for soda drinkers, more or less, but you don't drink soda, so you're going to go to the store and you're going to have to get some soda. Now, since you've seen all these commercials of that skating bear drinking Coke, you've already have exposure to that brand, and naturally you might gravitate towards Coca-Cola. In fact, there's evidence to say most people do, otherwise they wouldn't be running those commercials, right? Branding is so much more than just direct sales. Think about Starbucks, for example, too. They charge a premium price for just a cup of coffee, and whatever other drinks they have. I don't personally go to Starbucks myself, but and the reason they can get away with that is because they branded themselves as such a high-end coffee shop, and everything in the store and everything that you experience from them is completely in line with that. It's from the way the furniture in the store is set up, the lighting, the colors, the way things are arranged on the counter, what the baristas have on or wear, and everything is in line with that place being a high-end coffee drinker coffee house. That's what they're known for, and that's why they attract the kind of people they do, and that's why they can demand the prices they can for a cup of coffee that they could have gotten at McDonald's for $1. If you're big into coffee, I'm sure there's differences between coffee, but at the end of the day, coffee's coffee. Are you gonna that's the point. They're known for being a high-end brand, and they can command those prices because of it. And I want you to think about it like this. If you're in business, right, you're not in business just for the next 6 months or a year, right? You're in it for the long haul. You want to be in it for the long haul. Business is a marathon, not a sprint. And so you need to act like it's a marathon and not a sprint. You need to be in it for the long haul and build your brand accordingly, because that's what's going to carry you through time. As all this technology changes and everything, it's all going to continue to change. But if you don't have your branding right, then it's going to get screwed up. You're going to be chasing the latest tactic or whatever, of how to make more sales and make more money. But if you have brand, all these outlets like Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and whatever else we see in the next 20 years, it's just a platform for you to put your brand in front of customers. Like, that's it. You already know what you're going to say. You just have to tailor the message to the platform that it's being said on. And that's why brand is so important. It gives you that congruency through time. It gives you that path that I talked about a minute ago. So get clear on your brand. Get clear on your vision, your values, and what you stand for. And make sure that everything you do and everything that represents you and every experience that anyone could ever have with your business is in line with those values, those missions, those beliefs. Because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And if the person's values align with yours, they're going to pick your brand instead of somebody else's who just offers the lowest price. Your brand is what differentiates you. It makes you stand out from your competition. That's, again, why Starbucks can command such a higher price, because people who go to Starbucks might consider themselves more high-end. It's a relative term, whether you consider yourself high-end or not, than somebody who goes to Dunkin Donuts. And they align with that. That's why they can command those prices, and that's their brand, and they've built an entire business around that. And if we could just focus more on the marathon and not the sprint, it's like focusing more on branding and less on just selling, right? So think about the Coca-Cola commercial. Did you see at the end of the Coca-Cola commercial when the bear was dancing around, there was some text that popped up and said, "Get 50% off Coca-Cola at your local neighborhood store," or whatever? Of course not. Like, they're not trying to sell you. They're just trying to align your beliefs with theirs and show that their beliefs are aligned with yours. It's so much more not about selling, but just about brand in the long haul. And for all you money people out there, I totally get it. Like, there's no ROI in branding. What is that? It's very ambiguous. I understand. But the truth is, like, not all things can be measured, right? So here's an example for you. What's the ROI of the desk you're sitting at right now, or the chair you're sitting in? What's the ROI of window? Like, what's the ROI of, like, in your building, in your office? What's the ROI of your mom? Like, some things are just not tangible. Like, you just can't measure that. And it doesn't mean it's not valuable, because it is. That's why Coca-Cola has been around for over 100 years. They've established their brand and they're known for it. But do they have an ROI in that commercial, and who claimed the offer and who actually got up out of their seat and went to the store? They don't. But they're okay with that because they know that branding is worth so much more. It's like, what's the ROI of a piano? To me, nothing, because I can't play piano. I'm terrible. Or I would be terrible. I've never played before. But for Billy Joel, that's pretty good, right? He's made his entire life based on the Piano Man, right? Well, not just the Piano Man, but playing music. Like, that's his thing. So really, ROI when it comes to branding, is such an ambiguous term, but there's this stigma around the fact that people think that since there's no ROI, it's not worth doing, and they're just wrong. That's playing the sprint and not the marathon. If you want to be in the marathon and you want to be in business for a long time, you need to invest in your brand and not just getting ROI on ad campaigns and sales. And all that stuff's good. I get it, but it's more than that. You got to look at the big picture, because you got to think about it at the end of the day too. Like, if Coca-Cola were to try to sell you on that commercial, would you actually get up out of your seat and go buy some Coke? Probably not. People don't want to be sold to, right? People don't want to be coaxed into buying from you. Think of the used car salesman at the car salesman lot. if you're a car salesman, I'm sorry. That's just the stigma that's out there, and that's something you have to deal with. And that's a great thing to build your brand around. If you're a car salesman, like, build your brand around, like, redefining car salesman, or something like that. Sidebar. Anyway, so yeah, people don't want to be sold to or coaxed into purchasing or buying or claiming an offer or whatever. And if all you do on your social media is say, buy an offer, get a quote, claim this offer, like, you're just asking people to sell. If somebody were to come to you into your building, your office or your store, whatever it is, would you just pressure them and hammer them, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me? Of course not. So don't do it online either, because it doesn't feel any better that way. It's funny, like, people don't want to be coaxed into buying from you. They want to make their own decision and buy from a company or a business or whatever that has beliefs that align with their own. And if you can do that, you're going to have so many more customers over such a longer period of time. And that is branding. That's, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. They buy your beliefs. And when their beliefs align with your beliefs, it's more of a just natural process. You don't have to hard sell anybody. People want to buy from brands they can relate to. And I get it. When you can't measure an ROI of a brand, it's tough. But ask CocaCola. They've been in business 100 years. They figured something out, right? So that was really what I wanted to go over here today. And as far as like moving forward with this and continuing to brand yourself, especially on social media, because that's where so many people's attention is now, just make sure that everything you post and everything you do and all the engagements you have with your customers and every ad you run or whatever is all in line with your brand and exemplifies your brand. That's not to say you can't run a promotion or a special deal or a special offer. That's great. It's good to get people in the door and give them a little incentive. I think that's perfect, but don't make it everything you do. It's an 80-20 rule, right? You want 80%, you should be giving value and showing people they align with you and your beliefs and your values, and let them create that relationship with your brand. And then the other 20% of the time you can ask, or even 90-10 even. I just make sure that you're conveying your brand and not just asking people to buy from you. Because if you convey your brand to people and build relationships with them, they come to know, like, and trust you. And I keep saying this, no matter what business you're in the business of building relationships. And if you build more and better relationships than all your competition, who's just trying to sell people and doesn't have a brand, then you are going to be so much better off, maybe not 2 weeks from now or 2 months from now, but 2 years from now, 4 years from now, your brand is going to last and their sales tactics aren't. That's just how it works. All right, rant mode off. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on branding, and I hope it spoke to you a little bit. Remember, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So make sure people out there know that they know not just what you do, but they know why you do it, because that's more important, and that's what you're going to build these relationships around, and that's how your business is going to grow and thrive through all this changing technology that we have at our disposal today. It's only going to continue to change. Like I said, if you got that why down, if you know your why for your business, then the platforms, the Facebooks, the Snapchats are all just a way to convey that message. That's all it is. Don't overcomplicate it. Build your brand. Be in it for the long haul. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed. My name is Andrew Scott, and I'll talk to you next week.